Good morning. Well, it's afternoon now. It's Jane with Scraptastic Yarns and Nan's Next Knots. We finished it. Yay. I am not going to hold it up. I'm actually going to insert a picture of it lying on my bed. And here is that picture. Okay. Some of the other finished items that I did manage to get done. You know, I'd done the hats with that, I love this yarn in the color, I think it's Finch Feather or Feather Finch. It is a glowing colorway. And here is one of the scarves that I finished with it. This is doubled over. And then I also made another scarf, a little skinnier scarf for this. And that is basically it for finished objects. And part of the reason that there aren't a whole lot of finished objects for me is, you know, I'm still going through all this estate stuff and have some things to deal with there. And also finding some websites where my husband had profiles and people are contacting him. So I'm deleting those accounts, and it all takes time. I'm just going to leave it right there. But some of the other things are, for the past 2 years, I have been focused on Thomas, and I have in many ways lost myself during that process. So I am rediscovering some things that I like to do, and one of those things is I have always been a doodler, and so I decided to take a drawing class. I took a paint class, and I'm enjoying both. Of course, the paint class, there is another paint where they get together until September, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to continue it. So, because I'm enjoying it. But I thought I would show you something I made in the past. This is something I made for Thomas for his birthday, and you guys have seen it a long time ago in the past. Actually, it was his birthday Christmas present. Thomas and I both love dragons, so I had created him a wall quilt to go into his office. And here is that. This is primarily what my focus in art has been fiber art. I do have a piece that I'm working on that is a landscape. I'm using thread and some different techniques, and I'd put it away, and so I've pulled it out and I'm working on it a little bit. But let me get to the paint class first. Now, in this paint class, this is what I did. Now, the only thing is, this is a black canvas, and the only thing that was on this was a hand-drawn flag. And the theme of this was fireworks. So, you know, you're supposed to do fireworks. Well, I did fireworks, and this is supposed to represent the smokestack. And, you know, from the rockets, those kind of things. And, of course, this instructor kept stressing, this is your vision, but then she'd come around and tell you to do it this way. And when she looked at mine, she pulled it off of the easel and pulled it back and said, now this is a celebration. And I said to her, no, it's not. I said, this is a representation of a memory I have when I was 18. We lived several blocks from a fireworks manufacturing company called Longhorn Fireworks. And they make a lot of the fireworks that you see in big displays, you know, at stadiums and those kind of things. And they set up the pyrotechnics and, you know, give you suggestions for them, those kind of things. Well, one year there was a fire that broke out in this. And the skies were lit up with all kinds of fireworks going off. But in the background, the factory, part of it was on fire. And this was some of the smoke that was billowing out. And I had a friend whose father was a firefighter. And he died in that blaze along with one other firefighter as they were fighting that fire. So this was a memory that I was basically wanting to paint. You know, the spectacular display of the fireworks, because it was stunning. But you could also see the fire in the background. Now, I didn't paint the fire in this one just because of how overbearing this woman was about it. So I chose not to do that. But it still reminds me of that because that friend lost his father in that. Now, the funny thing is, this friend went on to become a firefighter and is now the chief of one of the fire stations there in Roswell, New Mexico. So that was just a little bit of a memory. And the other day, I decided to go to a drawing class. Now, this drawing class is one where a lot of people have been coming for probably 2 or 3 years that they've been doing it. And during COVID, they'd shut down, but the instructors, Marianne and George, were posting videos on Facebook. And I'm going to give you that Facebook link for that. It is Artpost Awareness on Facebook. This is a program where they receive grants from the Arts and Musics, you know, U.S. grants. And they go along and they, you know, teach you those skills, those kind of things. And the classes are generally free because it is a grant and that's how they get paid. And, you know, it pays for all the supplies. And of course they give you, you know, this class is basically a pencil and paper drawing class. But they do give you blenders and the 2 types of erasers and, you know, the graphite eraser that's moldable that you can pick up and actually draw some lines if you want with it. But this is that result. The instructor had asked me to just draw a leaf from my imagination, and that is what I came up with. And basically he was wanting, with that, he's wanting to see how I would play with that and use that. And most of my drawing has basically been in drawing shapes and things for free motion quilting because it builds muscle memory for when you are doing free motion quilting. But he came over and he said, that's not bad for a first time, you know. And I looked at him and I said, well, it started out wanting to be an oak leaf, but the gypsy moths got to it. So, you know, we had a good laugh about it. So that is the first attempt in this class. And of course, next week he is bringing me a leaf to draw. So that should be interesting. But it was a lot of fun. And I have always been a doodler. And I do enjoy doing those kind of things. And I've drawn some things in the past. I've done a couple of drawings of a couple of our cats in the past, those kind of things. But, you know, I put them on the back burner because of everything that was going on in my life at the time, working, blah, 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 all that. And then illness, and I couldn't deal with that because when I got really ill in about 2003, 2004, it was a combination of gastroparesis, Crohn's disease, and I can't remember the other thing that they had diagnosed with me. But they were basically things that had to do with the stomach and the gut. So I was pretty sick for quite a while. And then, of course, I had the issue with the neck where I had a herniated disc that was severely herniated. And in 2009, I had to have neck surgery, which that was a lot of fun. And because otherwise I would have been paralyzed from the chest down within months if I had not had that done. So, you know, life gets in the way of some of the things you want to pursue, and then you get busy with other things and you just forget to pursue them. So I decided that I was going to pursue some of those things because I want to. And of course the paint by number. I do have a smaller paint by number that I am choosing to work on, and we'll see how that goes. Now the other thing that I did is I did start a baby blanket, the Prayer Shawl Ministry, and I'm going to show you this fairly up close. This is one of Creative Grandma's patterns. It's one she had out, I want to say 2 or 3 weeks ago. I'll leave the link down below. It's like the easiest baby Afghan blanket ever or something like that. But I'll leave a link down to it below. But it's a 2-row repeat. But I did decide, and when I do 2-row repeats, I mark one side that lets me know this is the pattern that's a little bit different that I need to do, so that when I'm coming back I'm doing that. But it's very easy, and it's done with this is Bernat baby yarn, baby sport. We have a pregnancy resource center that has recently opened in our area, clinic, and some of the things they want, I mean, they've kind of told us what they want. I believe they said they wanted white, gray, and tan baby blankets in lightweight yarns. You know, I find tan a funny color for baby blankets, but, you know, we'll see. And that was just a first look with these people to get some information on things that they might be able to use that we provide, you know, through the Prayer Shawl Ministry. So, yeah, it's been rather interesting, you know, to see those kind of things. And, yeah. Let me get something else. I did forget to bring it up. Let me bring it up, and I'll be back with you in just a moment. You know, sometimes I forget my mind if I didn't have it attached to the head. Wanted to let you see the progress I have on the Killer Queen shawl that I've been doing. Did forget to bring that up. Hey, life is hard. One of the other things that I thought I would show you is, you know, this time of year there are a lot of blog hops, and I don't know if you guys participate in them, but I'm always glad to see the ones they have. Today's offering is a vest, and I have a lot of folks who are always asking about vest patterns. Those are not something that you see all the time. And of course, this is a blog hop with hand jan crochets. I'll leave the link down below for that. I always forget to add those things, so I thought I would add those things as well. Now, it has been a pretty full week, and I still have more to go. So, I did want to show you something that I am going to work on, and it is basically because I found this an interesting pattern, and this is the Lazy Girl Margot handbag. So I'm looking forward to making that out of some fabrics that I had set aside for a handbag for me. I don't know if I'll put those in the Etsy shop or not, but just thought I would let you see that. And then I'll show you it when I do get it finished this week. And I will be cutting some more bags to go up in the shop. I just have not had time with everything that I'm doing. So it's been rather hectic. And I will tell you, with the Prayer Shawl Ministry, I have a breast prosthesis ministry that goes along with that. And we have quite a few breast prostheses. Now, what I've done in the past is I have sent them on to the breast centers here and sent them to Susquehanna Health so they can send them on to some of the other breast centers. And generally, I include what are called some positive stones affirmations. So I've got to get painting some of those stones to be placed in there if you need to hold the breast prosthesis down. But I had someone who was doing a lot of knitting of breast prosthesis, and knittedknockers.org, some of the leftovers I would send that way. Well, now they have asked that you adopt a clinic or someplace. I've been trying to contact with someone in State College. They're breast surgeons, and they expressed interest, but then never had any follow-up with them or their office managers. So I'm still trying to do that so that we can adopt that one if they haven't already been adopted by another group or another person. The one in at Divine Providence, the breast center there, they do have someone that supplies a lot of those kits. We had gotten a grant with the Prayer Shawl Ministry for those kits, and so now I'm packaging those kits up to send out so that I can just get them out, because we have a ton. But one of the other things that I've been looking at is basically painting on rocks, because, you know, I find that fun too. So, you know, I've got a kit that's got a couple of big rocks, and of course I've found a few more on my way, so I will be doing some of that too in the future. So yeah, you know, I'm kind of branching out a little bit, see what sticks, what doesn't stick. There'll be things I know I don't like to do, and I'll just stop doing them. But that's kind of where I'm at right now, and yeah, that's basically it for now. All right, are you ready for a little what incarnation? We have quite a few today. You never know what you're going to see on the road. State troopers pull over man driving motorized Walmart cart. State troopers came across an unlikely vehicle on the southern Indiana interstate, an electric Walmart cart. On Monday morning around 5 a.m., Senior Trooper Rob Caudell came across a man riding an electric cart and pushing a construction barrel on I-265 in Clark County. There are some exceptions for slower vehicles to use the left lane, like inclement weather, traffic conditions, or to give an authorized emergency vehicle right of way. However, the trooper said the man was taken to Louisville, Kentucky for pending charges. The cart was recovered and returned to Walmart, which was located on one of the interstates there. So officials want to remind Hoosiers that unauthorized vehicles like electric carts are not allowed on the interstate. Plus, slower vehicles should use the right-hand lane. A vehicle that travels at a speed less than the established maximum set rate of travel shall travel in the right lanes to provide for better flow of traffic on the highways. Now, and there are a lot of exceptions with that, quite a lot, but I will show you the picture of said cart. I don't know, I find it funny. And I'll tell you why I find it funny. We have a fellow who lived, at the time it was Kmart, where the store was, but now there is a grocery store, Wise Grocery Store. It's a little shopping area, and it now hosts the Ollie's. But across the way there's a trailer park, and this one fellow used to ride his hover-round that he had souped up, and he had flags on his hover-round. But I'm pretty sure the man could travel about 35 miles an hour because it was so souped up. But I would imagine that if he'd got hold of that cart, he would have souped it up so it could travel a little faster. Just find those things funny. Iowa man's grave raises controversy with hidden profanity. A headstone at an Iowa cemetery is raising controversy after residents noticed that the family had included a hidden profanity in the grave marker's engraved message. The family of Stephen Paul Owens, who died at age 59 in September 2021, said the hidden message in Owens' headstone at Warren Power Cemetery in rural Polk County is meant as a tribute, not an insult, to their departed relative. The headstone message reads, and as I read it, if you write down each letter of the word, you'll get the meaning. Forever in our hearts, until we meet again, cherished memories known as our son, brother, father, papa, uncle, friend, and cousin. The formatting of the type causes the first letter of each line to spell out the message, F off. It was a term of endearment, Owen's daughter told WHO-TV. If he said that to you, it meant he liked you. If he didn't like you, he didn't talk to you. The Camp Township Board of Trustees said officials rejected the headstone, but the family had it installed anyway. The board said in a statement that it does not allow profanity on gravestones because those others who have a place in the cemetery have the right of decency afforded to them. It's true. The statement said community members are preparing legal action to have the headstone removed. They do not want, nor do they appreciate the stone being in the cemetery, the statement said. This community will not stop until they have the headstone removed. Owen's family said they are hoping to reach an agreement with the community to allow the stone to remain in place. Now, if I was his family, I would take the writing that is on the headstone, I would make a sign, and I would put it in my home. Period. Because I can understand how it might upset some people who are going to visit their loved one. Me, I would find it humorous, and I would probably do a gravestone drawing of it. So, that's me. All right. Devils jump over babies in Spanish village's unusual festival. A Spanish village is preparing for one of its most unusual celebrations of the year, El Salto del Calacho, also known internationally as the Baby Jumping Festival. The celebration of El Calacho, a local mythical feature representing the devil, involves men dressed in red and yellow calacho costumes running through the streets of the village, Castrillo de Murcia, causing mischief with whips, castanets, and culminates with the baby jumping event. El Salto del Calacho, or the Flight of the Calacho, on Sunday of the Feast of Corpus Christi, which falls on June 19th this year, which has already happened. Residents of the village, as well, are ever-increasing numbers of visitors from elsewhere in Spain and around the world. They place babies born during the past 12 months on a succession of mattresses set up on a village street. A group of black-clad, drum-beating, pious men, known as Atabalero, arrive at the scene to chase El Calacho, who flees by jumping over the mattress-bound babies. The babies are then sprinkled with rose petals and returned to their parents, who are usually found sitting next to the mattresses to keep their infants calm. Locals said there are no records of babies ever having been harmed during the jumping portion of the festival, even though some men portraying El Calacho has suffered pulled hamstrings as a consequence of all the jumping. The act of jumping over the babies is said to cleanse them of original sin and offer protections against disease and other misfortunes. El Calacho also absorbs any evil spirits that were inhabiting the babies, and a parade directly following the baby jumping herds the Calacho performers to a local church so they and the spirits they absorbed can be symbolically destroyed. The actors themselves are not harmed. The event is organized each year by the Catholic Brotherhood of the Sacred Sacrament of Minerva, whose members portray both El Calacho and the Hera Bolero. The baby jumping tradition, which dates back to at least 1620, is believed to have started as a melding of pagan and Catholic traditions, although its exact origins are unclear. The event is not officially sanctioned by the Catholic Church, and Pope Benedict, the 16th, was reported to have advised local Catholic clergy members not to participate in the tradition, as it could be confused with a substitute for a traditional baptism. And I doubt the people in the village do that. Despite the lack of official approval, the event has only gotten larger in recent years. Elderly residents of the town said they can remember when the festival was a solemn event, with small groups of spectators watching silently while on their knees. But in more recent decades, the atmosphere has become more jubilant, owing at last, to somewhat to the popularity of the baby jumping as a tourist draw. El Salto de Calacho takes place Sunday in Castrillo de Murcia, and that has already happened. Now, sometimes you wonder what you see on the streets, and sometimes you see things that you go, what? Really? I can imagine the villagers were very shocked to see this. Bengal tiger wanders loose on sidewalk in Mexican City. An adult Bengal tiger sparked fear and fascination in a Mexican city when it was seen wandering loose on a sidewalk in a residential area. A video captured Wednesday in Tequila, Nayarit, I hope I pronounced that right, probably butchered it, shows the tiger walking down a city sidewalk in a residential neighborhood while surprised locals watch from a distance. And that's a good idea. Watch from a distance. Witnesses said the tiger sat down after a few minutes and a man arrived with a length of rope, which he slipped around the big cat's neck and led it away. Tigers are legal to own in Mexico. A bill passed April the 29th by the Chamber of Deputies, the lower house of Mexico's legislature, would outlaw the purchase of big cats in the country, but the bill has yet to be taken up by the Senate. And I hope that most of you participated in this activity on the 16th. Dump the Pump Day encourages public transportation amid record gas prices. Thursday was National Dump the Pump Day, an occasion which started 16 years ago with the aim of urging American drivers to use public transportation. And with gas prices over $5 per gallon in some places, it's taken on a special significance this year. The observance was founded in 2006 by the American Public Transportation Association as a way to encourage commuters nationwide to dump the gas pump by leaving their cars at home and opting for buses or railways. The association said the holiday is recognized by more than 100 public transit systems and organizations across the U.S. Some cities offer discounted rides to mark the holiday, while others hold educational events to highlight the services they provide. It's a great opportunity for public transit systems to showcase the safe, convenient, and reliable bus and rail services that serve people in communities of all sizes. The observance falls each year on the third Thursday in June, and this year it's particularly relevant. No kidding. I saw a sign somewhere for gas that was $7.11. It was a meme. It said the prophecies have come true, been fulfilled. According to the AAA, the national average for gas prices was about $5.01 per gallon. The average surpassed $5 for the first time a few days ago, and many analysts say there probably won't be much relief in the near future, thanks to our public officials and their decisions, because the U.S. was energy independent, and now we no longer are. Demand for gasoline always increases during the summer months, and troubles at U.S. and foreign refineries have also pushed gas prices up. Russia's war in Ukraine has also made gas in the U.S. more expensive. Well, it wouldn't if we were still, refining our own and refining that was coming from Canada through the Keystone Pipeline, which would have also gone out to our refineries and many others. That's beside the point, right? All right, I'll stop the sarcasm there. The most expensive gas in the United States was found in California, where the average is $6.43 a gallon, according to the AAA, which I've seen it higher than that in some of those areas from friends who've sent me pictures. Gasoline is currently selling for more than $5 a gallon in most of half of the U.S. President Joe Biden has made several moves intended to ease prices at the pump, including the release of millions of barrels of oil from the strategic reserve and authorizing the sale of E15, a more fuel-efficient gasoline blend that contains a larger amount of ethanol during the summer months. However, there are a lot of vehicles that cannot use that, and if it sits too long in your tank, it turns to water. Which ruins your engine. So, there you have it. Other holidays for June the 16th include Plumes Day, Corpus Christi, Fresh Veggies Day, International Day of Family Remittances, International Day of the African Child, Ladies' Day, as in basketball, National Career Nursing Assistants Day, which they don't get enough recognition, National Fudge Day, not sure which kind of fudge they're talking about, fudge to eat, or whether you fudge whatever you're doing. No Orange Clothes Day. My partner in crime, Jerry, would definitely agree with that. She does not like the color orange. Recess at Work Day, Wish Fulfillment Day, World Sea Turtle Day, and World Tapas Day. This last story, I'm just going to read it. New York court. Happy the elephant can't use habeas corpus rights to end zoo detention. The New York Court of Appeals has ruled that Happy the elephant has no human writ of habeas corpus rights that would allow her to challenge her imprisonment at the Bronx Zoo. The 5-2 decision was written by Chief Judge Janet DeFiore, with Judges Rowan Wilson and Jenny Rivera dissenting. Because the writ of habeas corpus is intended to protect the liberty right of human beings to be free of unlawful confinement, it has no applicability to Happy, a non-human animal who is not a person subjected to illegal detention. Happy, as a non-human animal, does not have a legally cognizable right to be at liberty under New York law. Poor Happy. DeFore said, granting legal personhood to a non-human animal, such a manner would have significant implications for the interactions of humans and animals in all facets of life, including risking the disruption of property rights, the agricultural industry, among others, and medical research efforts. Dissenting judges, however, saw it differently. The majority erroneously claims that the writ of habeas corpus is intended to protect the liberty right of human beings, and that habeas corpus is unavailable to Happy as a matter of law because she is not a person subjected to illegal detention, they wrote. Judges Wilson and Rivera noted in their dissent that habeas corpus was vigorously used to challenge the detention of slaves when under law that they were deemed chattel. Well, slaves weren't animals either, so. The dissenters also noted that habeas corpus was also used to challenge the detention of women and children at the time when they had no legal existence. The Non-Human Rights Project praised the dissent of Judges Wilson and Rivera, but said Happy isn't the only loser in the legal decision against her. It's also a loss for everyone who cares about upholding and strengthening our most cherished values and principles of justice, autonomy, liberty, equality, and fairness, and ensuring our legal system is free of arbitrary reasoning and that no one is denied basic rights simply because of who they are, the group said in a statement. Do you think that they would stand up for those people that have been charged with some of these stupid charges in the January 6th event? Some of them, granted, they deserve the charges. Some of them, however, come to mind a man who was charged with trespassing when he was near the Capitol and spent 2 weeks in prison because of it. I don't understand how that worked, but hey, whatever. And of course, now we have Stephen Colbert's crew that got arrested for trespassing. And I kind of wonder how they got back into the area, the Senate area, or the House area. Can't remember which one it was. How they got back in after they left. Was that not a breach of security? So, will they be charged the same as some of the January 6th rioters, protesters? We'll see. All right, guys, that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I will see you again soon. And remember, be kind to one another. Love one another. Love yourself. And as always, make time to go out and enjoy the beauty and the marvel of the world that God has created for us. While you're out there, I hope you get a chance to see all 5 of those planets lined up during the solstice week. All right, see you guys again soon. Bye.